my name is Mel Brown and welcome to my No Frills Unedited podcast. I'm an autistic woman in the north of England and I'm here to talk about my knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving, dyeing, sewing, embroidery, anything else. Anything. It's been about a month since I last updated you, so I've got a lot to tell you. So get yourself a cuppa. I've certainly got myself one. And let's get going. So let's go back to my old format. Where are they now? What's happened to the projects that you've already seen? So the oldest of them is the Scrappy V. Now the designers of the patterns and all that kind of stuff will be down below because I rarely remember them. So let's have a look. Is the marker in the right place? No, it isn't. It's still in the place it was when I last spoke to you. It hasn't moved on very much. So this is a V-necked top. Let's turn it up the right, then it's easier to imagine, isn't it? So there's the V. And it's being made in, I'm going to move that a little bit, in leftover sock yarn. And I've got a kind of gradient, I've got a rainbow top going on, but I've thinned in and I've got a kind of gradient of blues, teals, whatever. So it's on a short needle, so you can't really get a feel of what it's going to look like. But yeah, it is very slow progress, but I'm now working on, I need to do 9 centimetres from there. And I've got about 1.5. So long way to go. It's a fun thing with the colours, but if I pick something up, it's usually not this, because I've got some other exciting things going on. But its time will come when I have finished my current in the house, out of the house project. This will take its place, because it is literally just knit from now, and then I'll divide for the sleeves, and then it'll be knit again, and I'm just working my way through a big bag of leftover sock yarns. You can see my colour palette there. Loads of teals and things, so I'm going to try not to make it too boring. But yeah, that's just a fun plodding away. And as I said last time, sock yarn on a 3.75mm needle is never going to be a fast project, but it is going to be beautiful and stunning. So that is still happily in progress in this lovely bag that my friend made for me with some pins on it that I think she bought me. Yeah, oh look, there's more on the other side. Yeah, so good, that's good. Macariri. I said to you last time, because it's been a while, so I re-watched my last video last night, and I said I'm definitely past the point where I'm going to frog it. Oops, I frogged it. I was doing it with my friend Sarah, and neither of us were enjoying it, and we had other projects on, and then when they finished we would have picked it up, but we never did, so we both frogged it. Yeah, if you're not enjoying it, don't do it. It's a waste of time, isn't it? So the next one is the Missoni. Now, this was going to be the sand art sweater with the free form and everything, but I decided earlier on that the colours, the way the thing was going, it wasn't going to work that way. I was up to about here last time I spoke to you, and I have now divided for the sleeves, as you can see, and I've gone quite a long way. This is my take it out of the house project. Now we're still in lockdown here, so I haven't gone out of the house very much, to be honest, but if I'm going to school to pick up my daughter, for example, I sit outside and I tend to work on this. And then if I sit in the evening, Dave and I seem to watch a Star Trek most evenings, just one episode of Voyager, I'll sit and knit that. And I did a course, I did a mental health first aid course, which was 12 hours on Zoom. And as an autistic person, I could not just sit there and watch somebody talk. I had to knit as well. So I've got quite a bit of work done on this. So it's varying yarns, some by Easy Knit, some by all kinds of people. I think there's a Claire Nettleship in there. It's all in my project notes. I'm Funky 40, or one word, on Ravelry, and I got these were random yarns from my stash, but the mohair that I'm holding it with is Shapius. Let's have a look. It's that. So you know the kind of standard is Rowan Kid Silk Haze, isn't it? This is mohair with microfiber, not with silk, and it's half the price. And there's a whole range of colours at Yarn Etc, which is in Harrogate. It's open now. You can go along, or you can look online. There are quite a lot of colours in there, and I got lots of the colours. And yeah, it is a beast, I have to say. Anything that I don't work with lace weight, it is lace weight. I don't work with lace weight because I don't want that kind of stress in my life. But I've done okay so far. But I just love the halo on it. It's just, look at this fluffy, hairy stuff. I just love it. I can't wait to wear it. You know, I'm often if you watch me a lot, you'll know I'm often a process knitter, crafter, whatever. I'm doing it because I enjoy the process. Whereas this, I'm enjoying the process, but I can't wait to get the product either. I'm really looking forward to wearing it. And everybody I show it to says, oh, it's so fluffy. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to wearing that. So that's the Missoni Accomplished, I think the pattern is called. It's by Espace Tricot. Okay, what's next? Lilla Bjorn. This is a crochet top. I am making this with my friend Andrea, and I'm using another Shapius, a whirl, which is a great big 1 metre long cake. I say it's 1 metre long. For me, it's not been 1 metre long because I've had to keep cutting it, and I'm really seriously unimpressed, to be honest. When I was talking to you last time, I was saying it had 2 plies and they change one colour at a time. I think actually it's got more than 2 plies. I'm just trying to find a piece. Oops, you're feeling seasick? Sorry. Yeah, it's got more than 2 plies. It's more like, can you see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5 plies? It's got lots of plies, and they change the colour in one of them at a time to get the gradient. So we get this, which is lovely. The problem is, whenever one changes, the join is not at all smooth. I'm going to find one to show you because I cut them out a lot. Here's one. So there's the sock weight yarn and there's the fluffy bit. And every time the colour changes, we get one of those. There's another one there. And so I've got a lot. I've got a lot of ends to run. I shouldn't have ends to run in because I'm working this one in one piece. But I do have ends to run in, and I do have to keep stopping and joining a new thing, and that's really annoying. And I just kind of think I don't understand why with the commercial process they can't join in a new ply without that. Anyway, so I've got the hexagon done, and now what you do is you build up on the edge, and I'm working through that. One of the downsides of using this gradient yarn is that obviously from here out it's been great. Now it's green, it's going into yellow, and then when it's kind of just about yellow, I'm going to start over here and it's going to start yellow, so there'll be a jog between this colour and that colour, but that's unavoidable and it's fine. So that is really good fun. Andrea and I are both doing that. She's doing it with hand spun, but it's not, you know, a high priority for either of us, but it's fun. So that's Lilla Bjorn. That is all of, oh, crochet hook. Every time I show it, it jumps out and hides on my lap. That is all of the projects that you've seen already, but I have a couple of new ones. So I have had my hair cut, but I'm growing it, and I've had highlights put in to kind of soften the growth thing, because I'm not going to cut out the blonde, but yeah, still a bit of a mishmash, but you know, she did a good job. So 2 new projects. Last time I spoke to you, I was just about to go and collect the yarn for my second attempt at a sand art sweater. Excuse me, I get got reflux laryngitis, so I croak a lot. If you've watched before, you'll probably have heard me croak quite a lot. I didn't know what it was until recently, and that's what it is. So I had to drink a lot to stop croaking. So, oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. So I picked up a whole load of yarn from Yarn Etc, which was this, which is, yeah, it's on my Ravelry project. It's cotton and something acrylic, I think. It's not the softest thing to work with, but I know it will soften up once it's washed. So I did the yoke of the bee stripes jumper, and then once I've divided for the sleeves, it's just straight, so I've just then gone a little bit mad. So it's not as uncontrolled as the previous freeform one. There's some control in it, there's some kind of method in it, but you'll see what you think. So there's my yoke, and then I divided for the sleeves, and then that hand. So I'm using all the different colours. I'm doing patches of moss stitch, not seed stitch for the American people. There's a bit of garter stitch there. There's some rib. I've got some bobbles. I'm doing a lot of slip stitches, and I'm doing some eyelets. You might be able to see great big, these are Stephen West, great big holes. So you do a double yarn over. And the back, well, I don't know which one's the front and the back, it doesn't matter, but yeah, great big passage of eyelet, bit of eyelets there, some more bobbles, little clumps of bobbles, some more rib. Yeah, so that's what's going on. It's coming down, yeah, it's not coming down to the top of my jeans yet, so it's quite a long way to go, but I'm really enjoying it. And then of course I'm going to come back and do the sleeves. Now I don't know exactly what I'll do with the sleeves. I may just do them fairly plain or striped, or I might just do, oh, it's getting yarn and fibre in my mouth, or I might just do another sandal. I might do more freeform. I guess it depends on how I'm feeling about freeform at that point. So that's that. The other new thing is a new craft for me. So if any of you still around that watched right from the beginning, I was doing at the beginning of the podcast a project which was I was trying to channel Jessie Chorley, who I haven't seen anything by except a podcast where I was watching her mum was doing something that she had been on a course. It was a very poor attempt at it, but I've come back to it, and it's known as slow stitching. So it's a kind of merging of fabric and sewing and applique and that kind of thing, and embroidery, and also kind of thrifting in the sense of using small amounts of what you've got, rather than buying yards of fabric or whatever. So the idea is that you make pieces that the expert on this, the complete guru on it as far as I'm concerned, is Anne Brooke. If you look at Brooke Textile Artist on YouTube, you will find her, and almost anybody that does slow stitching will cite Anne as their inspiration. She is based in Yorkshire. Now, in case you don't know, Yorkshire is not one county, Yorkshire is 4 counties, but I'm in North Yorkshire and Anne is in West Yorkshire, so she's not very far from me, which is very exciting. But she does videos and projects and everything. She's basically kept a lot of sewers and crafters sane during the last 2 years. So the idea is that you're making a piece that's not necessarily going to be useful. It might be a book cover or whatever, but that's not important, and it's not a project that you do when you finish. It's called slow stitching because you are stitching just for the joy of stitching, and everything takes time. It doesn't matter. It's just joy. So I'll show you. I'm making a long piece on a piece of wadding. So let me show you it bit by bit. This is my first piece here. So this is just me starting out, trying it out. I've put lots of different fabrics on, cut off bits of this, that and the other and attached it. These are called Suffolk puffs or yo-yos. I've made a couple of those and put them on. You can see I've got some stitching there. I've got some French knots. I've got a bit, I think that's called ric-rac. Then there's some more French knots, some cross stitches. I've got some pistol stitches there. some more there, some buttons, some blanket stitch, and you're using all of the fabric. You can see this is the colour, this is the washing instructions on the bottom of the fabric, and this is a bit of the selvage, and you're just using everything, using what you've got. So that was my first attempt. My second one was focused on squares. So I cut out squares of a few different fabrics, and it was basically very basic stitches, basically straight stitches. I did put a few French knots in, and then I put this is a washer, a rubber washer that I did blanket stitch on and stuck it in because I thought, you know, all these squares, and I'll put a circle in the middle. It actually represents me. I'm a circle in the middle of the group of squares. It's just how I feel about the way I fit into society, or don't, as an autistic woman. The third thing, I just felt, right, I just want to stitch. I just want to do stitches. So that's what I did. So it started off with this, which is stem, no, can't remember what it's called. Anyway, this. Then we've got blanket stitch, we've got a whole lot of sieve stitches, pistol stitches, chain, blanket, all kinds of weird and wonderful things. And it doesn't have to be finished. If I want to, I can go back and fill it in, but actually I'm quite happy with that at the moment. And then the final, oh no, the next bit is that I finished. I did some weaving. So again, this is completely inspired by Anne Brooks. So anything that you see here that you're interested in, go and look at Anne Brooks' YouTube channel. She is amazing. So I've woven these fabrics in. It might take a little while to see. And then I've put some beads and some more embroidery, some more pistol stitches, all kinds of different things. Bits of lace, it's a furry bit of lace up here. That's a bit of fabric I need to cut off. All kinds of weird and wonderful things. And then the final piece I've only just started last night. So I've got this much left to go. So it is about my joy making it and looking at it afterwards. And nobody else has to enjoy looking at it. This is a bit of a theme of mine from the podcast you might remember from before. It doesn't have to be enjoyable for anybody else. It is literally about me sat enjoying it. And man, am I enjoying it. Andrea, my friend, I talk about my friends a lot, and I hope that doesn't bother anybody, but my friend Andrea and I are doing this together. And she gave me a lot of those fabrics because I'm not really a fabric crafter, so I don't have an awful lot. But we went what the Americans call thrifting late last week because the shops have finally opened up after months. And we went to the charity shops. To be honest, I went to one and I went round and I picked up so many things. I spent 50 quid in there and I got an absolute mass of stuff. Because you can see how much fabric you're using. You know, one t-shirt that's got an interesting print on it, I cut it in half, give half to Andrea, and that will do me for loads of different projects. So that was just so much fun, and doing it together and looking at hers develop together. I'm looking at her Pinterest board, she's looking at my Pinterest board. It's a great thing. I'm calling this slow friendship because it's slow stitching, but we're doing it together. Can I just, this is my favourite bit here. It's a chain stitch and I put beads in there. I love it. If you are struggling to get back into crafting, I would highly recommend it. It is so joyful. And you don't need to buy stash. There was a video I saw of an Australian woman who said, what if I don't have stash? Okay. She got a pillow slip that was stained and it had a bit of a print on it. She got one of those sewing kits that you get in a cracker, and she got some buttons off an old shirt and she made a slow stitching project. And that's the thrill of it. You don't need much of anything. If you've got some nice threads, if you've got some pretty buttons, everybody's got buttons, let's face it. You could just use anything you've got, but it's your imagination and your joy. I've had my nails done. Oh, joy. Lots of joy around here. Okay, have I gone on about that too much? I know it is fun. I'm going to leave it there. Something new. I do swaps with two of my friends, one of them in America. We posted it to each other. Not going to be doing that again because the custom charges on the way back in were horrendous. But we sent each other stuff, which was fab. And right now I am struggling. Oh, there it is. I'm going to show you very briefly what I got from the States. Look at that. Distal Funk, that is, and that one too. They actually look really nice together, don't they? They are superwash merino. It's really funny because the yardage is given in yards. It's really funny because you buy a British sock yarn and it's given in meters. If you go to some websites, it's given in both, but it's only given in yards, which is really strange. So I got those two, and then I got this. So pretty. All those pinks. That's superwash merino and nylon. And then you all know my favourite, my favourite commercial yarn, Zalbable. Look at those colours. So pretty. And I think there's one more, yeah. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Swoon is the colour. I can really see that in a shawl. Absolutely gorgeous. And a few other bits and pieces. What's that? Oh yeah, a few other bits and pieces. A handmade book which I'm using as my positivity diary. So I worked out how many days between now and the end of the year, and there are 40 pages, and there were 40 times 6 days. So I write in every 6 days everything positive that's happened to me in that day. And in fact, today is my day, so I need to fill that in. And yeah. It's beautiful, beautiful handmade book, and that's indoors. Right, from Sarah, we haven't done the swap fully because we keep getting interrupted, but I've got some Polworth. I have never spun a Polworth, so I've got some to dye and then spin, or spin and then dye. Some hand spun that Sarah's done. That's John Arbor Knitting by Numbers. This is really good for warp actually on a weave. The last weave I did was, the warp was hand spun from Sarah. And then this beautiful Countess of Blaze. I kind of feel like I could tell it was Countess of Blaze before I saw. I'm not quite sure. It's BFL and nylon. But yeah, I mean, where's that other bag? Oh. You can just see, can't you, that with... Oh, they're so beautiful. So yeah, I am being spoiled rotten. And yeah. So that's something new. Spinning. I got my monthly, do you know, any minute now it'll hit again, my Spin City monthly fibre club. It is worth every penny. I tell you, if you haven't tried it, it's worth every penny. This was the inspiration, and she made this beautiful 6 different colours. She made them like little Easter eggs. And I'd love to show it to you, but I can't because I spun it within about 48 hours of getting it. And again, Andrew and I did it together, and we made a yarn in the rainbow. Oh, absolutely stunning. So what we've done is we've split each colour in half, and then spun 2 amounts, and then spun all the yellows, all the oranges, all the pinks, whatever. I think she did say, no, I did copied her with her order. And then we apply them together. Now at the beginning you've got 2 the same colour, but at some point one of them runs out and the other one, a new colour comes in. So you've got barber pole, and then that one brings in the new colour, but then this one runs out, or that one runs out. So you get solid colours and you get barber pole. It's just divine, and it'll be a gradient. So we've worked out the yardage, and I found a possible pattern for it, but I don't want to try it out in case it doesn't work, and I don't want to shred my hand spun. So I have found this lovely yarn in my stash. I think, yeah, this was from my monthly yarn club that my sister-in-law and my brother got me for my 50th birthday. Look at the colours, just so beautiful. This is exactly the same yardage for 100 grams as this is. So I'm going to try it out with this, and then if it works I'll make it with this. So that's the plan there. Also spinning sari silk. I was talking to you about it last time, saying that I couldn't get the colour to wash out, and I still haven't been able to find a way to make that work. so I don't know what to do. Also spinning, because of the success of the Easter egg project, where we're spinning a rainbow with a friend, decided to spin another rainbow with another friend. So this is Shetland. Sarah actually bought me this yarn. There's 3 different colours in there, and it's just, yeah, it's beautifully glittery. And I have also spun some black Corriedale to ply with it. That's the first 3 colours. Is that 4? I think it's 4 actually. Sorry about the crinkling. But that's the other 4. The yellow, gold, red, and this is, oh, I've opened it upside down. Kaylee, for the who doesn't know how to pronounce that, it's Kaylee by Hilltop Cloud. Beautiful, beautiful pack. So that's half of it already made, and I'm spinning black Corriedale to ply with it. And we're going to make a jumper with this. This isn't enough, but we'll add some more other stuff in, but we're going to make a jumper together. And I'm making something for the person who gave me all this fibre, the sari silk, etc. He wanted a cushion. So I thought I would use the sari silk more as a kind of feature thing, but I would do a background. Now this yarn fibre didn't actually say what it is on the bag, so I've spun it quite chunky. You can see it's a lot chunkier. This is the unspun bit. It's quite a lot chunkier than the other one, because what I want to do is I'm going to 2-ply it to itself, and then I'm just going to use that as a kind of background, and I'm going to throw a bit of sari silk in. One of my friends who I gave some sari silk to has given me small amounts of the colours that I gave her, and I've got small amounts of the colours that I've made, so I can make it really kind of, I'm picturing it as being really arty, and I don't know, might turn out looking a mess. But anyway, that's spinning for that. Weaving, I have 2 weaves on the go. So my Saori loom has got a piece of work that I've been working on for a while. I love it, but I've now made a kind of seaming area and leave a gap, and then when that yarn, the brown yarn, is finished, I'm going to start the cushion and do it on the Saori loom. I've got the little loom indoors. I've got an art weave on, and I actually put some on Instagram with me weaving with that the other day. So that's quite fun, putting a bit of hand spun in there, getting a lot of fun in there. So that is it for all the crafting update. That's a long video, isn't it? If the crafting is all you're here for, then thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, all the usual stuff, you know, like, subscribe, you know, send me a cup of tea, whatever you fancy. Don't do that. I'm talking nonsense. And I will see you next time. For anybody who's interested in a slight update on personal stuff, I am struggling a little bit with my health. You might know that I have a skin condition called hidradenitis suppurativa. Had it diagnosed about 18 months ago, and that's been pretty bad recently. I'm on antibiotics now for 3 months. And as I'm a person who hasn't taken antibiotics for probably 10 years, that's really hard to take. But I'm also on medication for gastroesophageal reflux, which is why I've got the croaky voice. And I'm having a lot of trouble with migraines caused by stress. So, as we say in Yorkshire, if I was a horse, they'd shoot me. But thankfully I'm not. But I'm adapting my diet to try and make things a bit better. Lockdown is easing, and I need to be with people more, and I hadn't realised quite how much that kind of, that muscle that is tolerance of people, that I had worked so hard, has atrophied, and I found it really hard to get back into being with people, but I've been practising and I'm getting a lot better. Yeah, being stuck at home has been brilliant for me. So my second daughter finishes school in a week and a half, and so the school run will stop, and I will be able to concentrate more on just chilling and making things. So that will be brilliant. Yeah, I think that's about it. So if you decide to give slow stitching a go, let me know. Tag me on Instagram if you do anything related to what I've been talking about. I should hopefully put all the details of the projects down below. Comment if you're interested, and I'd love to engage with you and have a chat. So thank you very much for watching, and happy crafting. Bye.